Welcome to the video lecture of the subject Indian Traditional Embroidery and Textile Motif. We will be discussing on the Unit 3, Woven Textiles of India, Part B. Today's topic is Paithani of Maharashtra. The term Paithani is derived from the name of the Aurangabad town, Paithan, Maharashtra. This bronze sari is deemed as a rich, ornate sari. The key noticeable traits of Paithani saris are the manually created borders and the pallu that is decorated with golden zari. Besides the backside, we will also have identical images. There will be a lattice on the backside, and this is another point to note for identifying Paithani. If the material is too glossy and the sickle design is exclusively colored, then it may not be an authentic Paithani stuff. Historical background of Paithan. Paithan dates back to the Satvana dynasty that ruled between the 2nd century BC and the 2nd century AD. The fine silk handloom saris get their name from the town in which they originated, Paithan in Aurangabad, Maharashtra, and truly flourished during the era of the Mughals, particularly during the rule of Aurangzeb. He was known to punish Jamdani weavers in order to encourage Paithani, and also introduced various novelties in the appearance of the traditional Paithani. But in the 17th century, the Peshwas took it upon themselves to promote the craft and consequently settled Paithani weavers in Yeola, which is now the manufacturing hub for Paithani. Materials used to make a Paithani sari. There are 3 types of silk threads used. Charkha, this is widely used. It is cheap, dull and uneven. Second one is Sidil Ghata, fine quality silk, thin sheer, shiny, smooth and even. Third one is China silk, very expensive to use. This raw silk is cleansed with caustic soda, dyed in the requisite shades. The threads are carefully separated. Khari, zari, costs about 1800 for 250 grams. Golden threads are obtained from Surat, the quality being 1200 yard per tola. Gold threads are used in double and one of the finest varieties, so much so that the closely woven surface looked like a mirror. The texture of the fabric is fairly compact with about 160 ends and 170 picks per inch. Zari is a metallic yarn made of pure silver. Originally, Sari was manufactured in Yola, Surat now being another zari producing center. Initially, zari used in making paithani was drawn from pure gold. However, silver is the affordable substitute today. Manufacturing process. First, we start with dyeing process. Wet dyes and acid dyes are used because of ease of availability, comparative cheapness, and favorable properties in dyeing. Bleaching and dyeing is done in copper vessels. 20 to 30 grams of dye powder is used per kg of yarn, which is mixed in water. Acid is used for fixation. Coconut oil is used to give a soft finish to silk. The yarns are dipped in the dye bath for 30 to 40 minutes using copper rods. They are then removed, washed a few times in water and then squeezed. The yarn is then dried in the shade. Next, the thread. The dyed thread goes to the loom. It takes approximately 1 day to set the silk threads on the loom. Tansal is used to put the wagi. The pavada works like the paddle to speed up the weaving. The chatka is used to push the kanti from one side to the other. Pushte is used in designing the border of paithani in which it is punched according to design application. Pigiri are tied to the loom. The threads are then passed through funny. There are two types of motion, primary motions, shedding, dividing the warp sheet or shed into two layers, one above the other, or the passage of shuttle with the weft threads. Picking, passing a peck of weft from one selvage or of a cloth through the warp threads. Beating, dividing the last peck through the fell of cloth with the help of sleigh fixed on the reel. Second one is secondary motions. Take up motion, taking up the cloth when being woven and binding it on the roller. Left touch motion, letting the warp wound on a warp beam when the cloth is taken up on the cloth roll beam. Taking up and letting up the warp are done simultaneously. The weaving process. Paithani sarees are silks in which there is no extra weft forming figures. The figuring weave was obtained by a plain tapestry technique. There are three techniques of weaving: split tapestry weave, interlocking method, and dovetailing method. The simplest weave, where two weft threads are woven up to adjacent warp threads and then reversed. The warp threads are then cut and retied to a different color. This is known as split tapestry weave. Two wefts are interlocked with each other where the color change is required. The figuring weft is made of a number of colored threads, weaving plain with warp threads and interlocked on either side with the ground's weft threads are invariably gold threads which interlock with the figure weft threads, thus forming the figure. This system of interlocking weaves, known as kadiyal, is done so that there are no extra floats on the back of the motif, thus making the design nearly reversible, known as interlocking method. Dovetailing method. Two threads go around the same warp, one above the other, creating a dovetailing or tooth comb effect. Weaving could take between 18 to 24 months, depending upon the complexity of the design. Today, there are many weavers who are working for the revival of this treasured weave. Types of Paithani, brocade and design. First is borders and pallu. In the days of Peshwas, the borders and the pallu were made of pure gold mixed with copper to give it strength. The proportion was 1 kg of gold to 1 tola of copper. The combination was spun into a fine wire called Sari. In recent times, Sari is made of silver coated with gold plating. The borders are created with interlocked weft technique either with colored silk or zari. Two types of border are the Narali and Panki. Designs. First one is Bangodi Moor. In this design, there will be an image of a peacock inside a bancal outline. Generally, there will be only one peacock. The design will be interlaced with the pallu, and the Paithani sari with this design will be always pricey. Second one is Munia brocade. The term Munia denotes parrot. Here the designs will have green color and these are interlaced with the border and pallu. Lotus brocade Paithani. The pallu of this brand will have the designs of lotus flower that are created using 7 or 8 different colors. In same cases, the same can be seen in the border also. Fourth one is Khoyari or Mango Paithani. In this model, saris there will be designs of Khoyari vine or parrot. Fifth one is geometric design or Akurati Paithani. Here, either the pallu has the design of a peacock inside a geometrical shape or the border bears a geometrical vine pattern. Sixth one is Aswali Paithani. This is a flower vase with attractive flowers in Aswali Paithani sarees. The borders will be bedecked with the designs of such flower vases or vine patterns. Different type of Paithani motifs are Kamal, Hans motif, Hashraf motif, Aswali, Bangadi Moor, Tota Maina, Umari Panda, Amarvel, Munia. The designs will be as small as far as the main part of the sari. In concert, and normally the figures for creating such designs will be Kuri, circles, Rui, Chandrakor, stars, Kalas, Pakili. The colors used. As Paithani sarees are woven from natural dye threads, you can usually find them only in basic colors like red, yellow, sky blue, magenta, green, peach, pink and purple. Each saree usually has two dominating colors, one on the saree and the other on the border and pallu. The dominant traditional colors of vegetable dyes included Pophali, red, lavender purple, Neeli Gungi, magenta, motiva, brinjal, pearl pink, peacock, yellowish green, kusumbi, pasila, guri, mirani. The present scenario of Paithani sari. Despite the lustrous history of Paithani saris today, they are in a similar state as many handloom saris are. Thanks to the power looms. Power loom Paithanis look as good as hand-woven ones and are sold at high prices when in fact they are just one-tenth the cost. This is extremely unfair because it lowers the demand for hand-woven saris, robbing weavers of their livelihood. In recent times, there have been many efforts made to promote the handloom. The New Weave Paithani Festival is one such endeavor to celebrate the executive Paithani drape, curating the exhibition for over 10 years now. This festival is more about educating people about the importance of buying a handloom sari over a powerloom sari and distinction between an authentic Paithani and a fake. The 5-day festival was first curated by Saroj Dhanajay in 1989 to create a healthy market for weavers from Yola and Paitan, where the silk originated and to raise awareness about this unique hand-woven silk. It is glad to note that the new generation is aware of different handloom sarees and attribute the credit for the same to designers and actors alike. Sonam Kapoor and Vidya Balan are often seen wearing woven sarees for red carpet and global events. At the same time, designers like Neeta Rola and Gaurana Shah have taken the Paithani to the ramp.